Thank you, Alexa. So just in, we do have a tornado warning in effect for Wood County. That is up until 12:30 this afternoon. We are going to be tracking that threat for an isolated tornado potentially spinning up. So taking a look at Parkersburg right now, most of Wood County is under it. So if you're in Parkersburg right now, Vienna, including Mineral Wells, you need to take shelter immediately. This is currently radar indicated rotation, so we are going to be keeping an eye on that heading into the afternoon. So where are we looking at for that tornado warning? Well, taking a look at the current velocity, we're mainly focused south along US 50. This is where we're tracking that circulation, which unfortunately does include our news station. So anybody in the news right now is going to have to take shelter until this tornado has cleared out. But this is where we're looking at rotation. We're going to continue to track that moving off towards the northeast. That does include Mount Wood Park. If you are there right now, have to take shelter too, even though you're not under that warning. But yeah, we are tracking. That's a new tornado warning up in effect until 12:30 p.m. Now, so far, radar indicated rotation. We're tracking on where this storm is moving. Taking a look, some new radar images coming in right now, showing that rotation starting to increase along US 50. So if you are planning on hanging out to US 50, do not do that right now. Even if you are living along US 50, you need to take shelter right now. We're tracking that rotation that is now developing around Parkersburg, south of Vienna, moving towards the northeast. So this is just in from the National Weather Service. So if we put a track on it, let's back that up just a little bit. Tracking this threat this morning has been quite an active afternoon across the Middle Ohio Valley. Let's take a look at the last 30 minutes on radar. So you can see this was at 12:02 when we were going just on our newscast. We started seeing rotation just south of Parkersburg, and it's been continuing to move towards the northeast. So people along US 50, we're in that starting to see that rotation on this thunderstorm. Going to need to take shelter. Everybody along US 50, everybody in downtown Parkersburg, including South Parkersburg, needs to take shelter immediately. So let's zoom in on where else we are seeing that. So zooming in closer, we do have those inbound and outbound showing up right now on our radar. Parkersburg South High School, you're on the tail end of this rotation. If you're anywhere around that, take shelter immediately, especially moving closer to I-77. It is lunchtime. People probably on the highway right now. You do not want to be here at all. East 7th Street, we're seeing rotation down south of there. You need to take shelter immediately, especially down south into the Erickson All Sports Facility. You need to take immediate shelter right now. We're going to continue tracking this off towards the northeast over the next 15 minutes. Again, this tornado warning is in effect until 12:30 this afternoon. So we are going to be keeping an eye on that. Right now, trying to see what we are capturing on our sky cam in Parkersburg. Unfortunately, because we're seeing so much rain across the Middle Ohio Valley, it is going to be covered. So do not wait for any rotation to show up outside. We are seeing plenty of heavy rain across the Middle Ohio Valley, so do not go outside and try looking for it. We're currently trying to see if we can capture that on our sky cam, but if there is any rotation right now, it is most likely going to be off to our left. If Austin can move that sky cam over a little bit, we're most likely going to be looking for that rotation right here. But again, with all of that heavy rain still moving through the Middle Ohio Valley, it is going to be completely rain wrapped. That's why you need to take shelter immediately. Do not wait for any noises to start to come up to tell you that a tornado is coming, it is best just to find shelter right now. Just 15 minutes, that is all it takes, and once that storm clears, we're good to go. But still, tracking that threat for some strong to severe thunderstorms throughout the rest of the afternoon. We're going to keep an eye right now, trying to see most likely some cloud development along that thunderstorm. We'll keep an eye on that. Austin, keep an eye on that cloud right now. We'll move back over to our radar, see where our rotation is. But again, a tornado warning is in effect until 12:30 p.m. for most of Wood County. So let's move back here, move over to our updated velocity. Currently, we are seeing that starting to move over the US 50, I-70 intersection right here. So people closer to Borman, you need to still stay into your shelter right now. Even though Parkersburg, that rotation is starting to, now we have an update on that tornado warning, starting to slowly chop that down. So Washington, West Virginia, you're in the clear for now. Parkersburg, most of downtown is still under that tornado warning, where we are seeing that spin up right here along US 50 moving to I-77. So if you are still heading off towards the west, north of Murphytown towards the east of Borman, you need to stay in shelter until that tornado has passed. Now let's see if we do have any more radar indications. So far it looks like the rotation is slowly starting to fall apart. See if we can move back the past 15 minutes. Now there was an update to that tornado warning. Let me see if I can get any information off of that. So as of right now, yes, the tornado warning still remains in effect until 12:30 p.m. for north central Wood County. At 12:13, radar is still indicating the potential for tornado. Now, even though it is radar indicated, we've been seeing plenty of heavy downpours across the Middle Ohio Valley for these series of thunderstorms repeating over the same area. It is going to be extremely difficult to see where that tornado is. So do not go outside, try to capture video of that tornado. It is just not worth it. Now, so far, the past couple of scans have shown really the rotation starting to weaken, but we are still going to be staying on air until this tornado warning has passed. But if we put out the cone, we still have these towns looking at that potential for that rotation to move over them over the next 15 minutes, including Doyle. So we'll keep an eye on that. But everybody along US 50 needs to take shelter right now for this potential tornado. Now let's clear that out. Rotation so far has started to decrease over the past 10 minutes, even showing the radar velocities right now, which shows us which direction the wind is moving. Really, that couplet is starting to disappear as it passed I-77 closer to US 50. What we're trying to see is that green velocity, which means winds towards the radar, and that red, which means winds away from the radar, start to really get to close together, which shows that rotation. Now, some downsides of velocity, especially since we're looking at radar from Charleston, is that beam height is really heading well above us. So it's going to be hard to look for rotation towards the surface, but still, with rotation already showing up from radar about 10 minutes ago, we were tracking that potential for an isolated tornado threat, and still, with the tornado warning in effect for most of Wood County, especially towards the northeast of Parkersburg, you still need to take shelter until the warning has been expired, which right now is 12:17, so about 13 minutes to go. It's not that long, so if you're able to stay in your shelter for just another 10 minutes, we can get through this together, and that tornado warning will be allowed to expire. Right now, we're not looking at much in the way of any rotation. We'll continue to move that off towards the northeast, getting along Route 31. So if you're living close to Route 31, you will definitely need to stay in your safe place for the next 12 to 15 minutes. Now we're getting a new radar scan, and really is looking very messy, but if I were to take a guess where that potential tornado is, it's still about a mile or two north of US 50 past Murphytown, closer to Mountainwood Park. So if you're in any of those areas right now, you still need to take shelter. Now, this isn't the only warning we're seeing right now across the Middle Ohio Valley. We still have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings in place for us, especially closer towards Washington County. And since I haven't been tracking that severe thunderstorm warning, Marietta, you're in the clear of that. Now let's move over to closer to Frontier High School. Harrison, Pleasant, Tyler, we're still tracking that severe thunderstorm warning threat. Overall, there's still that potential for an isolated tornado in that cluster of storms moving towards the northeast, but so far still staying with that severe thunderstorm warning. Now, the main thing we're still watching is that tornado warning for Parkersburg, seeing if we're getting any new updates on that. So far, no, the tornado warning will continue to stay with us until 12:30 this afternoon. Let's take a look back at our velocity for that tornado warning for Parkersburg. Taking a look, see if we have allowed that tornado warning to expire. Okay, yes. Just a few seconds ago, the National Weather Service has allowed for the tornado warning in Wood County to expire. However, that is not the end of our severe weather threat across the Middle Ohio Valley. We still have that tornado watch in effect for every county around Parkersburg till 6 p.m. this afternoon, and we've already seen plenty of storm reports. Earlier in my first weather at the top of the hour, we had some hail reporting near Coolville. We've also had some damaging winds with some power lines down also near Coolville, and still waiting on some more reports starting to filter in. We'll keep an eye on that, especially moving into the afternoon. So some good news, the tornado warning, if you're now joining us on air, has been allowed to expire. However, if you're still along US 50, I would still stay in your shelter for the next 5 minutes in case of a quick spin up. But overall, rotation has quickly weakened, which is why the tornado warning has been allowed to expire. But there is still another threat besides that damaging wind threat and also the isolated tornado threat, and that's going to be the localized flooding. If you are here in Parkersburg, you've probably been seeing that heavy downpour since 10:30 this morning. And so we're going to keep an eye on that. So remember, tornado watch still in effect until 6 p.m. this afternoon. The tornado warning has been allowed to expire, and with that, we're going to quickly toss it a break, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.